What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lewis, and originally there was the Hazmat, which is a hybrid, which I never threw, by the way. There was a Hazmat Solid, which I really liked, if you remember that video from back a couple months ago or 6 months ago, whenever that was. Now we have the Hazmat Pearl. So people are going to be very excited for this ball because of the success of the Hazmat and the Hazmat Solid. Before we get into any more details, please consider subscribing to the channel. I would super appreciate it. If you like this jersey, efx.co, promo code Napoles10. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. Down below in the description, as always, there's going to be links where you can order this Hazmat Pearl or anything bowling related. So let's start with the core. It's the same Hazmat core that was featured in the previous two versions, which in 15 pounds has an RG of 2.47 and a max differential of 0.055. All of that is wrapped around the HK22 Semtex Pearl cover stock that comes out of box at that 1500 grit factory compound finish. This is one that I'm going to be pretty excited about. I hope that it's everything. I hope it's everything that the Solid was, just more motion down lane. Because I think that was the one thing that it was missing. And I think that by using the same base formula, just making it a Pearl instead of a Solid, it's going to clear up all of those issues. Because it's a really strong core, I'm curious to see how it's going to look, if it's going to be a better ball for the fresh, or is it going to be more of a transitional type bowling ball? Those are the big questions that I have. Let me know in the comments what questions you have. And then with the layout, we went with a 4.5 by 4 by 3 layout. I've been trying to experiment with different symmetric layouts, and this is one of those experiments, drilling it a little bit stronger. We're going to be here at South Point on lane 63 on a very moderately transitioned house shot. We'll see you on the lanes. All right, first shot here coming up with the Hazmat Pearl. I have not thrown this ball yet. I shot another video on this lane, so I warmed up with that ball. So we're going to take a look and see what this looks like. We're going to take a little bit of a guess, and then we'll make an adjustment based on these first couple shots here. We're going to be pretty far left because, like I always say on these lanes in the morning, it's a shorter pattern with less volume than I typically bowl in league. So a lot of my layouts are based on what I bowl in league, not this open play pattern. That was a horrible first shot. Horrible first shot, but we'll take it. It was pretty clean, was not very angular. But again, that was a bad first shot. I'm really not even going to pay attention to that one. Kind of spun that one a little bit. My elbow got out, shoved it further right than I wanted. You know, not very good. Of course, we're waiting for a ball return now. While we wait, check out the chamois. Currently sold out, but like I said, hopefully they will come back in stock here pretty soon. All right, so we're gonna go right back to that same spot and just try to make a better shot because that last one was not very good. I'm standing like at 29. All right, let's make a better shot here. Oh, that's a worse shot than the first one. I sat down for like 10 minutes. I probably should have waited, or I should have thrown a few warm-up shots before. But I like going into these kind of blind. That shot was really bad, super forward. Let's reset this and make a better shot here to start. Ball flares a lot, very thick lines. Obviously from the layout, I drilled this a little bit stronger than I typically drill stuff. All right, here's to a good one. There we go, that's a good shot. Whoo! How'd that 8-pin taste, boys? That was a good motion. Clean through the front, pretty responsive down lane. I wouldn't say it's angular by any stretch of the imagination, but it is shape. It did look pretty good. We're really not gonna make a move off that because, like, what's the move off of lower 8-pin? But I like that motion. I like those smoother pearls, you know, where they're not like devastatingly angular, but definitely cleaner than the solids. That's another good shot there. Yeah, as soon as I started making good shots, right away I can definitely tell that it's cleaner, more responsive than the Hazmat Solid, but retaining a lot of those characteristics where it wants to pick up into a roll, it wants to do the Hazmat thing. And I'm just trying to figure out now, ball for the fresh or ball for transition. Right now I'm leaning more towards like that game one type of ball, just because of the motion I'm seeing. It's not super angular, but you know, we'll see. That's just early thoughts. You know, I don't like the colors of this ball static, meaning just like in my hand, but when I throw it down lane and it starts rotating, it swirls into a really nice color. But we've thrown 2 good shots in a row there, below a 8-pin and then 10 back. So now we just build off that. That might have been a pinch right and a pinch slow. Overall, a good shot, but it definitely hooks. Like, you definitely can't like really miss this. And honestly, like, Hammer makes such good stuff that they really don't even need reviews because they're so popular. But if you're looking for a benchmark type of symmetric pearl, this is going to be a good one. I think with a little surface, it might even be a little bit better. But let's make a better shot here. Oh, 2 bad shots in a row. That was a bad shot for sure. Missed in. I'm trying to like, okay, don't get it right, and then I got it in. No big deal. It's definitely not as quick down lane as I was anticipating. It's definitely on the smoother side, but again, that could be from the layout that I chose to go with. I typically don't drill balls this strong, but I haven't really been matching up with any of my symmetric balls lately, so I wanted to do something a little bit different. And this is what we came up with, or what Casey, my ball driller, came up with. There we go. That's a good shot. Wow, okay, I thought that was a pretty good shot. It might have been slow, but I thought that was a pretty good shot. We'll move left off that shot for sure, because that really came around the corner. Yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty good. Kind of wish I can go back and watch that one, but we're gonna trust our gut and say that that was a pretty good pitch, and we're gonna move left. We're gonna move like 4 left. We're gonna be shaping it pretty good here now. There we go. I kind of moved everything in. You like that, huh? As good motion. That's a symmetric pearl. Yeah. Well, because if you're looking for a symmetric pearl, this would be a good one. Hazmat Pearl. Yeah, I kind of moved everything in, kind of got away from that friction. There's already a ton of friction down lane. I don't need to add to that by getting it into the friction. That was a really good shot. Shout out to Jason, he works here. He was watching that shot. He turned around and he was like, good shot. Yeah, that move in was definitely the right move. Something I'm still learning. You know, when I was one-handed, I never made big moves like this into the soup. Now I can do that, so it's nice. Oh, okay, now we're in a completely different ball game now. That is really, really good motion. Again, it's still not angular, but I think that this can be a dual purpose type of ball. I think that with the polish, it's gonna be like a good go-to ball. Like if I have to get left quick, this could be a really good option. And I still think that with some surface, this could be a monster on the fresh, where it won't force me so far left and I can keep it in the soup. just keep making good shots here. Oh, and then I threw that one really bad. Yeah, I threw that really, really bad. Missed in, elbow got out. Don't pay attention to that. But you know what though, now that I'm throwing more and more shots, it's starting to shape a little bit more down lane. Still not angular. We're not gonna call it that. It's not smooth, it's like somewhere in between. Somewhere in between. And we'll throw a few more shots. I've seen everything I need to see. I think you guys have as well. So we'll throw 2 more shots and then we'll wrap this up. Hey, I think that I tried to get cute on that one. I think I tried to get that 2 in. So we'll throw one more strike. Then we'll wrap it up. And this one I'm gonna shape a little bit more intentionally and see what it looks like. You know, I talk about all the time in a ball review, right? Getting lined up and then making a move. If it can do both those things, it's typically gonna be a good ball. And you know, bowling balls are just good these days, especially when you bowl on house. All right, so we're gonna stand in the same spot, move our eyes right. See what this looks like. Hey, not the best shot, you know, but I had to get it right, or I didn't have to, I tried. But that tells me that it's not a very, it won't be like a good go-to ball. I think this is gonna be better suited on the fresh or when you gotta get left early. But all in all, I think the Hazmat Pearl's a pretty good ball. I didn't like the colors, but when they swirl, it looks good, good motion. I'm happy with this ball. And I think you will be too. See you on the next one.